Hey there, Yogi. How are ya? My name is Crystal Gray. I'm the creator of the Yoga Goddess Academy. I lead online classes like this, but also live classes where I can actually see you. I run a pretty decent Facebook group. It's a decent size and it's full of amazing people. It's called the Yoga Goddess Collective. It's free to be in there and feel free to join over there so that we can just kind of continue the conversation. Grab 2 blocks if you have them. It's not a make or break kind of thing, but if you have 2 blocks, grab those. Give this video a thumbs up if you wouldn't mind. It really does help me out with the algorithm, so I really appreciate that. Let me know in the comments after your practice how it made you feel, or if you have any questions. I'm always happy to answer. All right, let's go on the mat. So if you have 2 yoga blocks, please grab those, and we're actually going to start in child's pose today. So come on to your hands and knees. And we'll do modified child's pose. So bring your knees as wide as your mat. Your big toes can come together to touch. Bring your hips back towards your heels. And then bring either your forehead down to the ground, or if the forehead doesn't easily touch the ground, you can stack your fist and place the forehead onto the top fist. Close your eyes if that feels good for you. So we're using this first pose here as our transitional pose, meaning that we're transitioning from the rest of our day into our yoga practice. So while you're here, really focusing on getting present. So start to deepen the breath, slow down the breath, and really just start to focus on the breaths and focus on the sensations in your body. Be aware of the sensations in your body so that you can, again, really transition from the rest of your day into this present moment. Couple more breaths here. Let your lungs and ribs expand in every direction on your inhale. And then soften as you exhale. At any time, feel free to take a cleansing breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. All right, very good. Now from there, rise up to the hands and knees, but keep the knees wide. So we're gonna come around and back and up. So we're making big hip circles here, around and a back and up. Just warming up the body, make sure that you're breathing. Okay, go the other way, around and back and up. One more. All right, and then bring the knees back to center. So this is an intermediate flow, just to remind you. So there are gonna be some tricky things. We're not gonna do super advanced poses. That's not really what makes it intermediate, but the strength that it'll take and the balance it'll take, that's a little bit more what'll make it intermediate. And then bring your knees back a couple inches, push the knuckles down into the mat, curl the toes under, lift the hips up and push the hips up and back into your first downward facing dog. Take some breaths here. And start to walk the dog. Push one heel down and the other heel down. One heel down and the other heel down. Really getting into the backs of the legs here. Okay, now bring the big toes together to touch and lift your right leg up towards the sky. So you're probably more likely gonna feel a stretch here in the standing leg rather than the lifted leg. And we are looking to feel a stretch in the left hamstring. Okay, so on your inhale, lifting the right leg up. On your exhale, come into plank and bring your right knee to the right armpit. Inhale, lift it up. It might not touch the armpit. Exhale, bring it to the other arm, so right above the elbow. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, knee to nose, round the back, knee to nose. Inhale, lift it up. And exhale, bring it down. So take a couple breaths there, or uncurl the toes, sit back, and breathe. This is called Thunderbolt pose. I really love this resting pose. Sometimes it's better than child's pose if the heart rate is elevated, so just sitting back on the heels. All right, let's make the way back to downward facing dog. Beautiful, and lift your left leg up. Okay, so here feeling a stretch more in the right leg. So we're not opening up the hips here. Let's keep the left toes pretty much pointing down. Breathe, we're not feeling any pain. Okay, the sign of an intermediate yogi is someone who knows how to listen to their body. Inhale, lift the leg up maybe a little bit higher. Exhale, come to plank. Bring your left knee towards the left armpit. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, other arm. In plank. Inhale up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale up. Exhale, place the foot down. So you can bend the knees and really push into the knuckles, sending the hips up and back so you're in a straight line from the wrist all the way up to, from the wrist to the hips. All right, awesome. So come down to the hands and knees. We're gonna do kind of a resting pose. We're gonna do puppy dog pose, okay? So there's a few different variations. We're not really warmed up yet, so I wouldn't go into the biggest variation you can, but keep your hips above your heels. Walk your hands out as far as you can and bring your forehead down to the ground. Instead of drawing your navel towards the spine and keeping yourself in a nice long line from the wrist to the hips, instead for puppy dog pose, you're actually going to let your heart melt down towards the ground. The forearms might even come down to the mat. Breathe here. You might want to do some cleansing breaths. So just opening up the chest, opening up the upper back. My dog's got a lot to say about it. Now engage your abs to slowly come back up. All right, now this is gonna be really fun. What we're gonna do is come into plank, okay? Then we're gonna walk down to the forearms and back up to plank. All right, so why don't you watch me first? You can sit back onto your heels and watch me. So I'm gonna start in plank. And I'm gonna go right forearm, right hand, left hand. Then we're gonna start left forearm, left hand, right hand. I don't know how many times we're gonna do it yet. That's gonna depend on me. So let's come to plank pose. Plank is called Phalakasana. All right, so navel towards the spine. Don't let your belly sag down, guys. Navel to spine, tuck your tailbone. You're in a straight line from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Push into the hands so you round into the upper back, like in between the shoulder blades. All right, now the fun begins. You can do this on your knees too, guys. Right forearm down, left forearm down. Right hand up, left hand up. Left forearm down, right forearm down. Left hand, right hand. Right forearm down, left forearm down. Right hand, left hand. Oh my gosh. Left forearm down, right forearm down. Left hand, right hand. Hold plank, breathe, breathe, smile, downward facing dog. Oh my gosh. Push the heels or push the hips back. The heels don't need to touch the ground. Good. Now let's stretch out the core after that. So inhale, come forward to plank, shoulders past the wrist. Exhale, lower down with or without the knees all the way down. Keep the hands there beside the chest, uncurl the toes, and lift the chest up. And then lower down. Inhale up. Exhale, draw the chest forward, lower down so you stretch the abs. One more, inhale up. Exhale down. Curl your toes under, push up to plank or modified plank, and then hips up and back, downward facing dog. From here, walk your feet in a couple inches, big toes touch, bend the knees. Inhale, look forward. At the end of the exhale, walk or lightly hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, come to your monkey pose, so wherever you need to go to get a flat back. Exhale, fold over the legs. Push into the feet, look out in front of you, and then inhale, rise all the way up, circle the arms out to the sides and overhead. Exhale, bring the hands through center. So you can just keep the hands at the heart. All right, so now if you have blocks, I would grab those now. Place the blocks up at the corners of the mat, the front corners of the mat, and bring your big toes together to touch. Exhale, push down into the feet so we're in our mountain pose. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down through center and fold. Bring the hands to the blocks. Inhale, monkey pose. Draw the chest forward, shoulders back. Exhale, step back with the left foot. So see how I brought my hands back, the blocks back on either side of the right foot. You don't have to have blocks, but usually that makes you round the back. So if you don't have blocks, just walk your right foot over to the right a little bit so you have space for your chest. Draw your chest forward as much as possible, shoulders back. Okay, so while we're here, the right knee is directly on top of the ankle, and then push the left foot back so that the heel, instead of being down, it's right above the toes. Push the left heel back, right knee forward. Inhale here. Exhale, bring the hips back, but don't let the torso move. So you might not straighten the front leg, you guys, because we're gonna keep the chest forward. We're gonna keep the spine long. Okay, and bend the knee. And then start to bring the hips back. Notice I'm not saying straighten because you might not straighten. Push the right hip back in space, draw the chest forward. Again, bend. Inhale, exhale, hips back. Push into all four corners of the right foot. One more, bend. And bring the hips back. And bend. And step back with the left foot. Inhale, monkey. Hands can be on the blocks. Exhale, fold. Inhale, monkey. Exhale, right foot back. Okay, so right knee directly on top of the ankle, scooch the left foot back instead of having the heel down, heels right on top of the toes. Draw the chest forward, shoulders back. Breathe here, inhale. Exhale, hips back. Don't move the torso. Inhale, bend. Exhale, hips back. Inhale, bend. Exhale, hips back. Two more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, inhale, bend. Exhale, step forward, monkey pose. And fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Palms touch overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. Bring the arms by the sides, push down into the feet, breathe. Okay, so keeping the blocks up on the front corners of the mat. Bring your hands to your hips and start to lift the left leg behind you. So here you're in a straight line from the heel to the crown of the head. Maybe eventually you can have your torso and leg parallel to the ground. But again, you're in a straight line. This would be a good pose to take a picture or video of yourself in to see if you are in that straight line. Again, you don't have to be parallel to the ground. This is Warrior 3. Left toe should be pointing down. Okay, bring the hands to the blocks or the ground for standing splits. Right knee can be bent if it's still a challenge for you to bring your hands to your blocks. You can bend your right leg. Try to push your right hip back in space. Now bend your right knee, bring the left foot back to the back of the mat, and then rise up for Crescent Warrior. Okay, front knee's right on top of the ankle, bend the back knee, and we're gonna pulse it. 10, 9, just a little, 8, 7, breathe, navel to spine, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's circle the arms around, come back to Warrior 3, and rise up. Arms by the sides. Hands to the hips, right foot back. Okay, coming into your Warrior 3, hands can come to the heart. Come as parallel to the ground as you like, right toes pointing back or down, shoulders back, chest forward. Virabhadrasana 3. And standing splits. Right leg up, but try not to open the hips. Push the left hip back in space. It won't be as fun, I know, but it's beneficial. Okay, bring your right foot back to the back of the mat. Rise up. Find your gazing points because it does take a lot of balance. Arms up, wrap the shoulders, and pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Circle the arms around, Warrior 3. Arms can be overhead, and rise up. Urdhva Hastasana, exhale, arms by the sides. Tadasana. Take a couple cleansing breaths, find your gazing point. Okay, inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands to the blocks. Fold. Inhale, monkey. Exhale, left leg up, standing splits, hands on blocks or the ground. Okay, left foot to the back of the mat. We're gonna flatten the back foot and windmill the arms open, Virabhadrasana 2. Okay, so your right foot is turned out. Level out the pelvis, Lift the ribs, relax the shoulders. Right heel in line with the arch of the back foot. Breathe. Okay, let's inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, back to warrior 2. Exhale, side angle. Right forearm to the right leg, other arm overhead. Inhale, rise up, straighten the leg. Exhale, reverse triangle. Inhale, back up. Exhale, triangle. Okay, inhale, rise up. And then exhale, windmill, both hands down to the blocks, standing splits, and let the head hang. Okay, bring the foot down, hands to the blocks. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, right foot back. Flatten the back foot. Oh, sorry, I lied. Standing splits first. Standing splits. I'm getting sweaty, so I hope you guys are. Then bring the right foot down to the back of the mat. Flatten the foot. Windmill the arms open. Virabhadrasana 2. Left heel in line with the arch of the back foot. Level out the pelvis. Okay, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, rise up, straighten the leg. Exhale, reverse triangle. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, triangle. Inhale, rise up. Bend the left knee. Exhale, windmill both hands down to the front of the mat, standing splits. Bring the right foot down. Fold. Hold here or separate the feet a little bit and come into a yogi squat. So your heels can be down or lifted. Push the knees away. Lengthen the spine. Hold here and breathe. Okay. So we just have one more flow to do that, kind of very similar to those. Okay, so come back into your forward fold. Walk your feet back towards your Tadasana feet. Hands on the blocks if you have them. Inhale, monkey. And then exhale, lift the left leg, standing splits. Hands on the blocks or the ground. Okay, hips closed, push your right hip back in space. Now, let's see if we can actually kind of squeeze the right quad. See if you can come up to your warrior 3. Oh my gosh, that's hard. Okay, now come to your crescent warrior, left foot to the back of the mat, arms up. So inhale here, exhale, twist to the right. Inhale here. Exhale, revolved half moon. So left hand to the blocks. Okay, open up the chest. Left toes still point down. Left hand is under the left shoulder. It's not in by the foot. Nice long spine. Twist the belly button open to the right. Exhale, standing splits. Left foot down. Inhale, monkey. Exhale, standing splits. Lift the right leg. Squeeze the left quad. Start to lift your torso, warrior 3. Bend the left knee, crescent. Arms up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist to your left. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, revolved half moon, Parvrita Ardha Chandrasana. So right hand to the block. Twist the belly button open, right toes, back toes point down. Twist, twist, twist. Nice long torso. Inhale, open. Exhale, fold. Both feet down. Inhale, monkey. Exhale, step back to your downward facing dog. Push forward to your plank and bring your knees down. All right, so if you have your blocks, you guys are gonna love me. Okay, you're gonna bring them on the medium height. If you don't, I'm just gonna have you do tricep push-ups. If you don't have blocks, I only want you to lower about 2 inches. So this would be the no block variation. Your shoulders are a little bit past your wrists. Your knees can be down, elbows point back. That's variation number 1, even if you do have blocks actually. That's variation number 1. Variation 2, knees lifted, little tiny push-ups, elbows point back. Variation 3, actually I'm gonna go blocks on the highest height, okay? So your hands are gonna be let's see. So your hands are just behind the blocks. My pointer fingers are a little bit outside of the blocks. So I'm gonna push the shoulders forward, past the wrists, and we're gonna elbows in, shoulders touch the blocks, and up. Notice I didn't let my belly hang down. Okay, let's see if maybe we can do 5 of those with the breath, all right? So make sure you're in the right shape. Inhale here. Exhale, elbows in. They should rub on the sides. Inhale up. Oh, sorry, inhale down, exhale up. So inhale, exhale, push. That's 2. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. 1 more. Oh my gosh, it's so hard. Good, and then sit back into your thunderbolt pose or Vajrasana. So like I said, I like to come here instead of child's pose while the heart rate's still lifted. So let's just kind of slow down the heart rate here. I like to do a mudra called Dhyana Mudra. So left hand under, right hand on top, palms facing up, thumbs touch. Just really relaxing for the arms, and it's a good one for concentration, a good mudra. So just slow down the breath. Take some cleansing breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Notice if you built up some heat. I definitely am sweaty. Now modified child's pose. So come to the hands and knees, bring the knees as wide as the mat. Forehead down if possible. Then side stretch. Walk both hands over to the left. Really reach with the right hand, feeling a stretch all the way down the right side. And then walk it all the way over to the other side, feeling a stretch all the way down the left side. Come back to center. Rise up. Bring your knees back towards center and swing your feet around and come to seated. Just coming into Pashimo Tanasana. So we did a lot in this practice of asymmetrical poses, meaning we did one leg, then the other leg, one leg, then the other leg. So child's pose is symmetrical, although we made it asymmetrical by doing our side stretch. So let's do a symmetrical pose, Pashimo Tanasana, seated forward fold. Now, if you have your blocks, you can grab those. And what I like to do when I come into this is just grab my booty and pull it back, because that starts to tip your pelvis forward. Because in forward folds, we don't want to have a rounded back, okay? So draw the chest forward towards the toes. Now, maybe you can bring your fore or your elbows to the blocks. If your hamstrings are really happy hamstrings, okay, then maybe you can start to lower down and bring your forearms onto the blocks. But the key here is not to round. You know if you're doing it right. If the low belly's touching the legs, the upper belly, the ribs, the chest. Okay, that's how you know you're doing it right. If the belly is not touching the legs, then you're probably rounding the back. And it depends on your belly too, right? So breathe here. Doesn't matter how far you're going in it. Forward folds are really calming. So even more so than trying to get a stretch right here, we're just trying to calm down and slow down. Really focus on starting to let the exhales be longer than the inhales. So inhale as far as you can comfortably. See how many counts that takes. And then let your exhale be 1, 2, or 3 counts longer than that inhale. Relax the forehead and the jaw. Make sure both sets of toes are pointing up. Good, and then very slowly rise up. You can keep your eyes closed or just have a soft gaze, and notice how you feel after that forward fold. You feel a little bit more grounded. Just like slowed down a little bit. I'm going to ask you to lay back with me just for about 2 minutes. Please don't skip this part of your practice. Lay all the way back. Shavasana is the most important part of the practice, where we let everything that we just did over these last 20-25 minutes together really sink in and assimilate body, mind, and spirit. letting your palms face up, be a little bit wider than the mat, feet about as wide as the mat, falling out or in, wherever they naturally fall, eyes closed. So we're just going to do a body scan. Then you can choose to stay here for longer or end your practice. So eyes closed, relax the crown of the head, use your imagination, just let everything relax. The scalp, the back of the head, let the skull be heavy onto the mat. Let the brain relax into the back of the skull. Notice how that feels. Let the forehead relax. Any wrinkles in the forehead smooth away. The eyebrows, the space in between the eyebrows. The eyes. Let the eyes be heavy into the skull. The nose relaxes. The cheeks, the temples, the ears, and the earlobes. The tongue and the lips, unclench the jaw. The throat, the neck, the shoulders, and all the way down the upper arms, the elbows, the forearms, the wrists, the palms, and the fingers. Coming back up to the collarbones, the chest, the rib cage, the diaphragm, the upper abdominals, the lower abdominals, and the belly. The shoulder blades, the upper back, the muscles of the mid back, and the low back, and the spine. Let the spine decompress. The pelvis, the hip flexors, the hips, and the glutes, the entire pelvic bowl. Moving down through the upper legs, the quads, the hamstrings, the knees, the shins and the calves, the ankles, heels, soles of the feet, balls of the feet, and the toes. Notice what it feels like to let the ground carry your body weight. Please feel free to stay here for 5 more breaths, 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes. Otherwise, bring some movement back to the fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. If it would feel good, reach your arms up overhead for a full body stretch. And roll onto your right hand side, using your right arm for a pillow. Take a deep breath there. And with the strength of your arms, slowly push yourself up to a cross-legged position. Whichever cross-legged pose feels good for you. Pull the flesh away from the sitting bones. Eyes closed if that feels okay. Big shoulder roll. Lengthen the spine, chin parallel to the ground. Let's have the palms open on the knees, just signifying that we're open to release anything that we worked up to the surface in today's practice. Let's take a big cleansing breath in through the nose and out through the mouth with that same intention. And circle the hands together in front of your heart, palms touching, bringing balance to the left and right hemispheres of the brain, both sides of the body. Bow your head, bring your thumbs from your heart center up to your third eye, just taking a moment to thank yourself for taking this time out of your day to do something so good for yourself. The energy within me acknowledges the energy within you, and I thank you so much for letting me guide you through your practice today. Have a great day. Namaste. You can open your eyes.